Hey Coach Max class, my name is Nikki Diaz. I was a part of the graduating class from 2007, and of course I spent several years in radio and TV and as part of BSPN. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how what you're learning in the classroom is going to apply to your real life job and to the next steps that you take into your future. I got my start at Blackman High School in BSPN radio TV. I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, that looks like it would be a lot of fun to be on the morning announcements and get to be a part of that. All of these years later, I've interned at the Bobby Bones Show in Nashville, which I'm sure you guys have heard about. I was a part of WKRN at News 2. Before taking my first job as a reporter in Texas, it's been quite a journey. It's been amazing, but it all started right there at Blackman High School. All of the things that I learned in the classroom, rolling cable, editing, are all things that I still do today and that I still use. So what I'm learning, or what I learned there from Coach Mack and what you guys are learning, are going to be things that you're going to carry with you, and it's really only going to benefit you. You guys are getting an incredible education. I went into college getting a degree in communications and then in broadcasting. And it was great going in knowing that when my professors came to me with something, it wasn't the first time that I was seeing it. I was kind of like, oh, I'm familiar with this, or I've done this before. So you guys are really getting a top-notch education, and it's really going to take you guys to the next level. As a news reporter interning at Nashville's News 2 at WKRN, I did whatever they needed me to do, but the best part was that because I had already had that experience in high school, I was familiar with everything, I knew the terminology, it was so easy for me to jump in and say, oh hey, I'll carry this or I'll do this. I didn't just sit there and get coffee for everybody. I was out on stories, got to handle some of the things that we went out on, got to write some of the web stories, so that was a really great experience for me.
Serving you as well as you have served all of America. That was the message the First Lady, Michelle Obama, conveyed to the soldiers of Fort Campbell today. In
college, it was very easy for me to put together anything that I needed to do that my professors asked me to because I was already familiar with it. I was really comfortable in being in front of the camera and handling a camera. I didn't get nervous, and it was all because of the things that I did there at BSPN. I follow you guys on YouTube. I follow you guys on Twitter. You're doing an incredible job. Back when I was a student there back in 2007, we were the first class, I want to say, to do a senior video, which it can be found on YouTube. Pretty interesting, but it also goes to show how far you guys have come and how great that program has developed along the way. I think your promo videos are amazing, your lip dubs are great, you guys do an awesome job, and just know that all of the things that you're doing there are exactly the same things that we're doing in a news station. As a news reporter, I'm coming in every day, I'm pitching ideas, I'm taking the camera out myself, I'm adding in all my filters and my transitions, I'm handling my interviews, and I'm editing it and putting it ready to go for the 5 o'clock newscast.
Yeah, Neil, you know what? I tell you, these drug dealers, they're slacking off these days. They've got one job to do. It's answer the phone, deliver the goods. And they're not doing it. But don't worry, because One East Texas Police Department, they've got your back, and they're ready to do the dirty work. I've said it before. While I'm in Texas, I'm going to get the full Texas experience. And so today I decided it was time to convert from those Nashville country roots of mine to Texas country. Now, I got fitted for my first cowboy hat and boots today. Yeah, Neil Casey, it'll be no surprise the most stolen vehicle, the Ford F-150, followed by the Chevy and Dodge truck. Now, of course, that's mostly because Texans favor driving trucks over other vehicles, but it doesn't explain why they're being targeted this time of year.
You guys are only getting the advantage right now. I still to this day remember Coach Mack bringing in Kelly Sutton from Fox News to our class to talk to us, and one of the first things that she said was, if you're getting into this business, just be prepared to eat ramen noodles. And nothing has changed. When you graduate from school and you take your first job, you're not making any kind of money, but you're gonna love what you're doing because no 2 days are the same. You come in every day at the same time, sure, but you have no idea what's going to happen that day, what you're going to be reporting on, what you're going to be stumbling across at a scene. And that's so exciting. It's way better than sitting at a desk and just doing the same old monotonous things. This is really a great field to be in, and I hope all of you continue it and pursue it at the next level. The good news also about doing this in high school is that you have a better understanding of what you want to do and where you want to go, what field. Do you want to go into sports? Do you want to go into entertainment? Do you want to go into news? All of that extra amount of confidence that you're getting now is only going to benefit you when it comes time to get your job, because you're not going to look like that nervous first time cameraman, that nervous first time reporter. It's going to be a piece of cake for you guys because you've been there, you've done that. I still remember sitting in his classroom and doing the morning announcements and hosting the talent show and Mr. BHS, and again making the senior videos, shooting the football games, practices, all of those things. And it's been all the same things that I'm doing still today in news, which is great. Because you come in and you don't look like this rookie person. You're pretty confident and comfortable doing what you're doing, and that only benefits you. You guys, I would give you some advice when it comes time to go to college, get that degree, and you go looking for that first job. Know your area, know where you want to go. It was an easy transition for me to come to Texas because it's still the South. I didn't have a huge culture shock, but that wasn't the same for all of my coworkers. I had coworkers coming in from California and Boston who got here and couldn't understand why people held the door open for you, or why they said yes ma'am, or I even had someone say, what's the big deal about biscuits and gravy? So the great thing is that you're going to meet a lot of awesome people along the way, just with your coworkers, but also out in town, whatever stories that you're working on. But get an idea of where do you want to work? What field do you want to go into? Don't think that maybe if you want to do more entertainment or human interest stories, that news isn't the place for you. That's kind of how I was. I was not someone who wanted to be involved in politics. I think all politicians put their pants on the same way. However, they kind of forget that. So having to spend a day in commissioner's court was dreadful. It was a nightmare for me. But getting to do a human interest piece was awesome because I really got to dive into people, who they are, what makes them unique, and because I have a passion for it, well, it just makes that story that much better. So get an idea of what it is that you want to go into, what field of videoing, of news that you want to be a part of, whether it is production, whether it's entertainment, whether it's news, whether it's sports. I have several friends who were a part of BSPN with me that are still working in the field today. Knowing what you want to do will help you decide what area of the country you want to take your first job. You can't, of course, be too picky because it is a competitive field, but you can have a better understanding. You don't want to, you guys will have a better understanding of what you want to do because you're getting that practice in now. I was amazed at how many of my coworkers, whenever I would come in, they would be from these prestigious broadcasting schools, and I just kept thinking, gosh, my education is a lot better than theirs. I was way more comfortable in doing anything. I already knew certain things, like key frame movement. You guys know what key frame movements are. I was amazed at how many of my coworkers didn't. But it's all because of the education that I had, and that all starts with Coach Mack, and I know you guys know that you're in great hands, but I just want to reiterate, as someone who's been there, been in that classroom, been in that chair, sat in front of that camera, to where I am now, that you guys are in good hands.